So the Lakers have just been robbed yet again, and the NBA has a huge problem, and that is the piss poor level of NBA officiating. Now, I understand referees are human beings like me and you, but it's getting to the point where blatant calls are being, or blatant fouls are being missed, and it's costing games. Like, the Lakers have had so many in the past 2 weeks to the point where I'm starting to feel bad for them. I'm not a Laker fan, I'm just a fan of basketball, but it's getting to the point where something has to be done, because I don't like seeing good games being spoiled by terrible calls. And Adam Silver, I'm telling you right now, it doesn't help half an hour after the game your NBA officiating crew going, yep, we missed that call down late down the stretch. Oh yeah, we should have called the foul then. It's too fucking late now because the game's done, the game's been lost, and at that point, that's just adding more salt to the wound. Now, tell me if I'm blind or not, but if I'm not mistaken, that's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul as well. The Kendrick Nunn picture before wasn't that clear, but there's been so many calls which they've missed, which have been so blatant. And like I said, I understand the referees are complete human beings, but it stems back to what Patrick Beverley's showing them right there. Camera footage. And what I mean by that is referees are only human beings. Now, my suggestion would be, first of all, why do you lose a challenge if you get it correct? I feel like the NBA are just trying to protect their officials way too much instead of actually making the game as fair as possible, in the sense that if your challenge is successful, you should keep having challenges until you get one wrong, because you're clearly using it correctly. Why should you lose it? Why should you be punished for getting a decision right? That just deters teams from using their challenges too early, because if they get it right, they're going to lose it regardless, which is just ridiculous. Then again, in football or soccer, like you guys call it, there's something called VAR. Explain to me why there can't be some people in the booth, like other officiating crew in the booth, who are wired up with the referees on the court. If there's a missed call, they may go, you might want to overturn that one, you might want to call a foul here, you might want to go to the monitor and do that. Why can't that be incorporated? I know there's them late game checks in the last 2 minutes where they go and check if the ball went out of bounds correctly off the right guy, if they gave the right call, but overall I don't feel like enough is being done to ensure these games are being officiated correctly, because it's getting to the point where these games could actually cost the Lakers their playoff spot. Like I said, I'm not a Laker fan. I couldn't really care less if they made the playoffs or not, I'm not going to lie. But I just hate seeing games being spoiled and ruined by poor officiating. Like, look at the Western Conference right now. The gap between the 13 seed Lakers and the 5 seed whoever is between, like, it's about 3, 4, 5 games. 4 of those games could have been won if the calls were called correctly, and the Lakers could easily be 7th right now instead of 13th. I don't know, but in such a tight conference where teams are barely separated, you can't afford games where the referees are just blowing them and just giving incorrect decisions left, right and center, and something has to be done. So I really do sympathize for every Laker fan out there, and as a whole I feel like officiating this year has been at all-time low. There's been no consistency. For example, right here, I understand when people be like, oh, it's a minor grab, and I understand that picture was taken at the exact right time and people might say it's not a foul, but then again, I've seen so many scenarios where that's been given, you know what I'm trying to say? So really and truly, what is a foul and what isn't a foul? Patrick Beverley had to pull out the receipts right here, and I would have done the exact same thing, because it's again absolutely ridiculous. As a fan of basketball, even if you dislike the Lakers, you should see this and but potentially raise an issue, because if this happens to your team, you're not going to be very happy. And I feel like as a whole, this shit is getting way too out of hand. Adam Silver, do something, help the referees out, because some of them may be blind. Again, I ain't been a ref before, maybe it's really hard to make these decisions, I don't know, of course they're going to be hard, but as a professional referee, I feel like some of these calls are so blatant, especially the one against Boston just last night. But that's all I really got for this video. The NBA needs to fix their officiating. There needs to be more support for officials so the correct decision can be made. And as a whole, the whole challenge was a good idea, but it's not being used correctly. How the F do you lose a challenge when you get it correct? It just makes no sense. But hey, that's all I got for this video. I'm out. Peace.